Hello, and thank you to TDI's Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Kaika, for the opportunity to speak at this year's conference. And thank you to TDI, which has been a great partner and organization to work with for Facebook. My name is Monica Desai, and I'm the head of the Global Connectivity and Access Policy team at Facebook. My team covers issues involving accessibility and other issues such as online messaging, online video, infrastructure, net neutrality, and spectrum. Prior to joining Facebook, I spent over a decade in senior positions at the Federal Communications Commission. It was while I was at the FCC that I became acquainted with TDI and the excellent work that you do. I served as chief of the Consumer and Governmental Affairs Bureau at the FCC, which develops all rules and policies in connection with accessibility issues, and also served as chief of the Media Bureau, which has oversight over broadcasters and cable companies and oversees captioning policies. After becoming chief of the Consumer Bureau, I gave my very first keynote at the TDI conference. That was in July of 2005 on the 15-year anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. In connection with that appearance, I was excited to announce the adoption of rules that TDI had been advocating for related to video relay service, improved speed of answer, and expanded hours of service, and also new rules allowing for compensation for Spanish language translation, and the launch of a rulemaking proceeding to consider higher quality closed captioning. That same day, we also announced new caption telephone service rules that Hearing Loss Association of America had been advocating for. Now, 16 years later, I'm thrilled and honored to be invited to address this audience again, this time representing Facebook, a company that I found that is constantly working to improve the accessibility of our products and also working to improve diversity and inclusion in our workforce. Our mission at Facebook is to give people the power to build community and bring the world closer together, and that includes everyone. Making our products accessible to people with disabilities is critical to getting our mission right. We take very seriously our commitment to accessibility, and we've built a variety of tools to enhance access to our service. We are working also to improve equal access and inclusion beyond Facebook as well. To put the importance of this work into perspective, I'd like to highlight a few statistics around the number of persons with disabilities globally. According to the World Health Organization, more than 39 million people across the world are blind, and more than 285 million people have visual impairments. The World Federation of the Deaf reports that more than 70 million people globally are deaf, and the International Federation of Hard of Hearing People notes that more than 300 million people globally are hard of hearing. Assistive technologies and tools, including screen readers, zooming software, automatic alt text, and video captioning, can help people with hearing loss and with vision loss connect with their friends and family while using Facebook. I'll touch first on Facebook's approach to accessibility. We have a dedicated, centralized accessibility team to define, develop, and distribute user accessibility requirements, best practices, technologies, and other support to advance accessibility work throughout the company. At the same time, accessibility is a horizontal function within the company. What does this mean? This means that accessibility is embedded into the different departments that touch the product lifecycle, including design, research, and engineering, as well as policy and legal, resulting in an important cross-functional effort to promote accessibility in our products. I'll highlight a few of the milestones for Facebook in our work to build a more accessible platform. First, let's talk about captioning. Facebook several years ago launched a tool to enable users to manually add captions for videos and to customize the way those captions display to the user. We also enable Facebook live streamers to manually add captions, either by using a closed caption inserter tool or by working with a vendor to add real-time closed captions into their Facebook Live broadcast. But not everyone takes the time to add captions, and our goal is for every video on Facebook to have them. So we committed to making large investments in and leveraging artificial intelligence or AI technologies to enable automated captioning for video. A challenge associated with captions is that they are time-consuming and can be costly, especially for consumers and small businesses. Automated captioning makes it simple and easy for creators to add captions. And this feature is easy to use. Captions are generated with the press of a button and can be reviewed by content creators and edited so that they have full control. Automated captioning is available for Facebook ads and pages, Facebook Live, Workplace Live, and Instagram TV to support the availability of captioning together with manual captioning tools. The speed, scale, and quality of this AI-powered technology was only possible thanks to the advances Facebook AI has made in automated speech recognition over the past few years. We're also improving the accessibility of photos at scale on our platform. Facebook has deployed AI-driven automatic photo description technology that describes objects in photos to people with vision loss. This is called automatic alt text, or AAT. Automated alt text uses object recognition to generate a description of photos to enable people using screen readers to hear a list of items that photos may contain. To provide some context on the challenge that these tools solve, every day our users share billions of photos. Through research and engagement with the blind and visually impaired community, we found that screen reader users want to engage with and share photos, and also that they desire more information about a photo's content and context. The standard practice for describing photos to people who use screen readers is the use of alt text. Alt text is a concise text-based description that's used by screen readers to describe an image. Unfortunately, adding alt text takes time and a little skill, and the vast majority of photos are posted by individuals who don't know about alt text or know how to use it or even why it's needed. Facebook created automatic alt text to help address this challenge on the platform. The original version of automatic alt text launched in 2016, that's when I joined Facebook, and could recognize 100 common concepts like tree, mountain, and outdoors. But we knew there was more that automatic alt text needed to do, and the next logical step was to expand the number of recognizable objects and concepts and refine how we presented them. So in January 2021, we announced the next generation of automatic alt text, which is now able to recognize over 1,200 objects and concepts, more than 10 times as many as before, including highly requested concepts like landmarks and more types of sports, breeds of dogs, and various types of food, all of which had been requested. We accomplished this by training the automatic alt text model on billions of public Instagram images and their hashtags. Alt text descriptions are available in 45 different languages, helping to ensure that it is useful to people all around the globe. As of March 2021, more than 80% of the images displayed on Facebook and Instagram now contain automatic alt text. I'm also pleased to announce that Facebook is building social audio into the core experience of our family of apps and has just rolled out live audio rooms in the US. Live audio rooms is an experience that lets people discover, listen in on, and join live conversations with public figures and select Facebook groups. Although it's an audio experience, we are including captions to make the experience accessible. Another area I want to touch on is user feedback and research. I want to call attention to the importance of the continuing dialogue we have with organizations representing people with disabilities and the feedback we received from our users in developing our accessibility tools and promoting the accessibility of our products. For example, our accessibility research team went on a 9-day deep dive in Brazil to learn more about how being deaf or using sign language changes a person's interactions with social media. We learned that a large number of Brazilian people are having deep conversations through sign language by sharing video clips. This research directly informed our thinking around hands-free recording in camera experiences and around the specific needs that sign communities may have for technology. Research like this helps us understand more about how technology breaks down barriers to equality and how Facebook can help. We are continually in conversation with the community, both in soliciting feedback from persons with disabilities about new products and accessibility tools, and in maintaining dialogue with disability advocates and rights groups. Next, I'd like to talk about an emerging area of focus for us, which is XR and accessibility. XR, or extended reality, includes AR, VR, and mixed reality. I'm very excited that one of my Facebook colleagues will also be participating in a panel about XR gaming through the TDI conference. We take accessibility seriously with all our products, and AR, VR is no exception. XR is a new and emerging technology, and accessibility is likewise an evolving area as well. We're working to understand how to best provide great inclusive experiences. On June 17th, we released Oculus version 30, which includes new accessibility features to make the future of computing a better experience for everyone. With version 30, we're including a brand new accessibility tab into the Oculus settings menu. There you'll find tools and features that enable you to customize your VR experience. We've moved some existing features under this new accessibility tab, such as the ability to change your headset's default text size. But we're adding 2 new features with version 30 as well. The first is color correction, which is a system-level display setting that increases legibility of colors that are commonly difficult to differentiate. With this technology, you can switch between 3 options: green-red, red-green, and blue-yellow. Another much requested feature that's new enables you to experience VR from a standing vantage point, even while physically seated. This raise view feature raises your viewing height by 16 inches in supported apps. Raise view is still an experimental feature, so let us know your feedback if you try it. As you can tell, many elements of technology that are needed to build out mixed reality do not exist yet, and neither do many of the norms around their responsible development and use. That's why we work with organizations to research, document, and distribute public XR accessibility guidelines for developers in partnership with the XR Association, of which we are a founding member. The guidance offers developers a set of industry-backed best practices for developing accessible XR software that enhance experiences for all users, not just those with disabilities. We are actively contributing and participating in working groups with community and industry-level organizations such as the World Wide Web Consortium and XR Access that promote responsible development and adoption of virtual, augmented, and mixed reality. For Oculus, we issued our own set of technical recommendations called virtual reality checks that are designed to help developers create more accessible VR apps. Moreover, internally at Facebook, we created an AR/VR accessibility task force to harness the interest and talents of individuals across the business who want to improve the accessibility of our products, software, and content. We already see XR technologies benefiting and being built for persons with disabilities specifically. There's been a lot of discussion about the potential of VR technology for people with disabilities, including mobility-related disabilities. Facebook's Oculus headsets and equipment are bringing accessible experiences to life. One example is the Anne Frank House VR experience on Oculus, which recreates in virtual reality the Annex, where Anne Frank and her family lived in hiding from 1942 to 1944. This experience uses cutting-edge visualization technology and also extensive historical research to open up the experience to an even wider audience in an immersive way. This is available from your own home or anywhere, and the Anne Frank House is also offering this as an option to mobility-impaired visitors, letting those who are unable to climb the stairs see the secret annex for themselves. Another great use case of VR is to create awareness and to build empathy. One experience called Notes on Blindness is a perfect example. It's the story of a man who documented his vision loss in the process while he was going blind. He took notes and created a VR experience that gives you a glimpse of what it's like to be blind. We're excited in general to explore this new space of immersive computing and building in accessibility. It's also important to note that building products that are accessible requires a workforce that can represent and advocate for the diversity of our users. At Facebook, diversity inclusion is one of our top priorities. Our recruiting and accommodations teams offer support to candidates through the hiring process, and once they are hired, our accommodations program supports employees with disabilities. We also have an active employee resource group for people with disabilities. Indeed, Facebook has been named one of the best places to work for disability inclusion 3 years in a row by the American Association for People with Disabilities and Disability In's Disability Equality Index. In closing, I want to thank TDI for the great opportunity to speak here today, and more importantly, for all of the fantastic work that you do and our collaboration as partners in this area. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your conference, and I hope the rest of the conference is terrific. Thank you.